if Antarctica's slumbering volcanoes awakened? Beneath the thick layer of ice, millions of years old, something quietly lurks, waiting to burst through the rigid ice sheets. This vast icy wasteland conceals a volcanic ridge beneath. And in our hypothetical world, these volcanoes are on the verge of awakening. Could their fiery lava erase Earth's surface? Or would the thick Antarctic ice halt the lava before it renders our planet uninhabitable? Antarctica is Earth's coldest continent, shrouded in mystery. We were unaware of its active volcanoes until 2013, when scientists stumbled upon 2 clusters of minor earthquakes. Now, with ice-penetrating radar, we've discovered even more volcanoes lurking beneath the ice. Precisely 138. But those are just the ones we know about. How many more lie dormant? And what peril awaits if all those volcanoes suddenly ended their slumber? It's no surprise that these ash-spewing fissures have been entombed under Antarctica's ice sheet all this time. After all, volcanoes are not uncommon even beyond our home planet. Volcanoes dot Jupiter's moon Io, Saturn's moon Enceladus, and our planetary neighbor Venus. But let's not dwell there. We have our own world to safeguard. Do you know what occurs when a volcano erupts? Warning signs typically precede the real action, like earthquake waves. They signal the movement of molten rock beneath the surface. Then, lava and ash join the fray, accompanied by heated gases. Depending on various scenarios and the type of lava, on average, lava moves at a speed of 10 kilometers, 6 miles per hour. Quite easy to outrun. But when a major eruption happens, a volcano unleashes superheated gases and ash. Together, they form a pyroclastic cloud. These clouds are scorching, reaching temperatures of up to 700 degrees Celsius, 1,300 degrees Fahrenheit, and they can travel at 80 kilometers, 50 miles per hour. Being trapped by one of these would spell doom for you. But Antarctica's volcanoes tell a different tale. They're buried under layers of ice more than 4 km, 2.5 miles, thick in some places. We wouldn't contend with volcanic gases reaching the surface, at least not from a single eruption. The released heat would melt vast caverns in the ice, generating significant amounts of meltwater, and that's when things would turn dire. The newly formed meltwater would cause the ice above to move more rapidly. The Antarctic ice cover would start heading into the ocean. From there, a domino effect would ensue. The immense weight of the ice exerts all that pressure on the volcanoes, keeping them stable. But reduce that pressure, and a volcano loosens up, allowing magma to escape through an eruption. In Antarctica's case, multiple volcanic eruptions could awaken over 100 other volcanoes, destabilizing the entire region. As the volcanoes continue to erupt, more meltwater would be produced, causing more Antarctic ice to slide into the ocean. The Antarctic ice would be surrounded by warmer ocean currents. On one hand, we'd gain a new perspective on Antarctic bedrock, hidden under the ice all this time. On the other hand, the ice wouldn't just vanish into thin air. It would melt. And if all of Antarctica's ice melted, it would raise the global sea level by about 60 m, 200 feet. Rising sea levels could lead to major storms moving slower and dropping more rain. Hurricanes and typhoons would wreak havoc on Earth's surface. Wildlife in coastal areas would lose their habitats, and agricultural soil would be contaminated with salt. Extensive flooding would displace millions of people from the coastline. If the eruptions occurred over one day, we'd face thousands of deaths and storms, obliterating everything afloat in the oceans. But let's return to Antarctica for a moment. Now that all the ice has melted, what about the rampaging magma? The good news is, it wouldn't turn the Earth into a lava world. After all, the eruptions would occur underwater. The hot magma would solidify in the cold waters of the Antarctic Ocean, potentially adding more land to Antarctica's own bedrock. But it doesn't end there. When volcanoes erupt on land, they spew out heated gases, including carbon monoxide, methane, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen. Along with this, there's usually some water vapor. By some estimates, volcanoes release 645 million tons of CO2 every year. If the Antarctic volcano eruptions were powerful enough, they would blast open large expanses of ice, allowing the release of even more toxic greenhouse gases. When one of Antarctica's surface volcanoes, Mount Takahe, erupted some 18,000 years ago, it spewed out chemicals that ate a hole in the ozone layer. That hole warmed the southern hemisphere and caused glaciers to melt. It helped wrap up the last ice age. Now imagine over 100 volcanoes erupting all at once. That can't be good for our planet. But don't worry, Antarctica's volcanoes won't erupt all at once. If they start to awaken, it would take decades for anything significant to happen.